one thing you maybe missed, Senate Republicans, 5 of them, delivered a rebuke to President Trump on Venezuela today, and he is angry. So on the Senate floor today, Thursday, there was a vote on a war powers resolution, a Democratic-backed resolution to rein in President Trump's military power in Venezuela. We've seen a number of these resolutions on the floor of the House and Senate over the last few weeks, but this one was different because it came after that high-stakes, high-profile, everybody's seen the video operation to capture Nicolas Maduro, the once leader of Venezuela, and after President Trump said the U.S. will, quote-unquote, run Venezuela until there could be a transition of governments there, and he doesn't give a timeline of exactly how long that would take. So Democrats brought this resolution to the floor in the Senate, and they got, in a relatively surprising move, 5 Republicans to vote with them on this. Those Republicans, including Josh Hawley and Todd Young, senators that we didn't expect necessarily to vote with the more moderates, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and Rand Paul, who's a further right Republican senator who's often been critical of the president's use of military power. But of those 5, many of them said they were concerned by President Trump not ruling out using military force, putting American boots on the ground in Venezuela while this transition is ongoing. Now, White House officials in recent days have tried to pour cold water on that. It's something President Trump said over the weekend, that the door would be still left open to additional military force, including deploying troops to Venezuela. White House officials have since said that's not necessarily in the cards, but that was enough to concern 5 or so Republican senators who said that if that were to happen, it would require congressional approval. Now, look, the law that this resolution falls under has long been a subject of debate for decades. Congress is the only branch of government that has the authority to constitutionally declare war, but the president has broad military powers as the commander-in-chief. Setting that debate aside for a second, this is significant because while it's not likely to become law because it would have to go through the House and then the president would have to sign it, which he's not going to do. He said he's going to veto it, or Congress would have to override that veto. What it does do in the immediate is it triggers debate on the Senate floor over the president's military actions in Venezuela. And we expect Democrats and even some Republicans next week to take to the Senate floor when that debate begins and blast the president. And as I said, President Trump is angry about those 5 Republicans voting with Democrats. He posted today that those Republicans should never be elected to public office again.